Hi, my name is Anushri and welcome to my crochet account. This is my first video. I wanted my first video to be kind of like a recap of everything that I crocheted in 2024. To preface the video, I actually don't have all the items that I crocheted last year because so in the middle of the year I moved to a different city. So a lot of my crochet items are actually at home and I don't have them with me here, so I can't like show them to you physically, but I will like add a picture in this video so that if I reference it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I also crocheted a lot of gifts, and I don't have those with me obviously. So besides those, I have a few items with me and I'll show them to you. I'm gonna start with like the smallest things, which are these bags that I made. So the first item this is like a tulip bag, and I saw these a lot on Pinterest and I thought these were so pretty, like the small tulips, and like they looked so pretty, and I just thought like I have to crochet that. And my mom got me this really nice yarn from the US and it was $6 from what I remember. It was like 50 grams of yarn, which was $6, which is actually a lot considering the yarn prices in India, which are much cheaper than $6. So I was like, I have to use this yarn for good. Like I cannot just waste it on something. And so I made this tulip bag out of it. Thing that I have is this bag. It's this star-shaped bag. And again, something that I saw a lot on Pinterest, and I had this like multicolored yarn that like it was like blue and brown, and I didn't really know exactly what to make with it, but I just thought it was so pretty when I saw it on Amazon and I was like, I have to get that. So I bought it without really knowing what to make with it, and I saw these star-shaped bags and I was like, okay, well I think like a multicolored yarn where just the colors just kind of flow in and out on their own. I thought like that would look cool. And so this and then I made like the stars and I just sewed them together, and I actually lined this bag. This is the first project, like a bag project that I've made that I've lined the inside. So that was pretty fun. I got like this old cloth that my mom gave me and I just lined the inside, and I don't have like a sewing machine, so I did it with my hands, and I'm not the best sewer. But one thing that crocheting has taught me that I didn't really want to learn, but I just had to in the process, is that I got pretty good at sewing. So yeah, this is a really fun bag as well. Like I got to play around a lot with it because I didn't really like how it was looking, so then I completely legit just like took out all the I had already sewn it together, so then I had to take out the thread to like fix it and then sew it again. But in the end, I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks. It's really cute, and again, I can put stuff in here, and like the bag sags a little, but like it still holds up. Like I can still carry stuff with me in this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show are my tops. So I have a couple of them with me. So the first one is this butterfly top, which turned out like absolutely gorgeous. Like I love how this top came out, and this top actually took me the least amount of time I've ever spent crocheting any article of clothing. It took me maybe like 6 hours, not even, to crochet, and that too only because the yarn that I was using was super tangled up and I was really lazy and I didn't like make it into like a perfect ball of yarn before I started crocheting, and I really struggled with trying to crochet this purely because of how irritating that yarn was. But I absolutely love this shade of like maroon / pink. I'm not exactly sure what color this is, but it's gorgeous. I got this at like this local yarn shop from my like hometown, and it was really cheap too, like maybe 100 rupees for 100 grams of yarn. And next top that I have is this purple top. I got this yarn and it was just kind of lying there for like probably months, and I didn't do anything with it. And then I saw this top, I think it was called a Delilah top, on Instagram or maybe Pinterest, I don't know. I saw this top and I was like, that's really pretty, and I thought I'd make it with my purple yarn. And I started making it, like, as you can see, like, so this beginning part is similar to how you make the Delilah top, but halfway through I kind of thought that this yarn wouldn't be like the best for that particular type of top, and I kind of just thought, well, screw it, like this still looks nice, but I'm still gonna make something out of it. So I thought I'd kind of do my own thing. So I believe in that Delilah top as well, like the back part was like checkered, so I kept that. And in the Delilah top, you kind of have like this like knotted section in the beginning. Instead of doing that, I just kept this plain, and then I added this bottom row to like, so it's again like the checkered from the back. And after doing that, I really struggled with how to make the straps, because I knew I wasn't gonna make it strapless, so I wouldn't be able to wear it. But I wanted to have some straps, and I thought I wanted to incorporate like this checkered material on the straps, or the checkered pattern on the straps. So I did that, but I kept on struggling with the size of the straps, and I ended up making the straps 3 different times, and I sewed them on, and then I tried it on and I was like, this doesn't fit, and then I took it off, then I redid it, then I sewed it back on, it still didn't fit. It was like too large the first time, too small the second time. The third time I gave up on it. So this top actually took 2 months, even though it didn't take much time to crochet. It was just because I was just getting so tired of messing up with the straps. So finally all my friends were like, you need to finish this top, like it's pretty. And I was going on vacation and I wanted to wear it there. So I made the straps, and this top is honestly really pretty. Like when you wear it, it's made exactly to fit me, but it's really nice. So, and I guess you could say this is an original pattern because I didn't really follow any pattern. So yeah, this is my first original top. So besides these 2 tops, I've also made this crochet patchwork type top. So I saw that again on Pinterest. I get most of my inspiration from Pinterest. I saw this, I think it's some K-pop singer, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, but she was wearing this like heart-shaped crochet top, and it's made, so it's like made completely out of hearts and flowers. So there's like hearts and flowers are basically sewn together in the shape of a heart, and it's making this top, and I saw that and I was like, this is absolutely gorgeous, and I want to recreate it. And I had all this like pink and whites, I had different shades of pinks and purples, and I wanted to use that yarn. So basically I was using all my scrap yarn to make this top, and I don't have it with me, but I'll, like, if you can see in that picture, it looks really pretty. I did an entire photo shoot when I went home with my sister, and it's really pretty. I left it for her, so that's why I don't have it with me, but I really like how it turned out. And again, it didn't take a lot of time. I just had to crochet I just had to crochet like a bunch of hearts. I think in the end I had 27 hearts and flowers, and then I just crocheted all of them, and then I just had to sew them again. I had to sew them all together. And honestly, I think the sewing was the more annoying part of this process rather than the crocheting. This crochet vest that I made, this is a houndstooth vest, and this houndstooth pattern is quite popular. I've been seeing this pattern on so many different things, like bags and shirts, and like it's everywhere. And so I thought, like, I saw a few pictures on Instagram, and I saw that we can crochet this, and I thought, well, I'm gonna hop onto the trend and I'm gonna make myself a vest, because I've noticed that vests are quite cute and I can wear this to office. So yeah. So next I have this white cardigan, and this is super easy to crochet and it looks really nice, and it's made exactly to fit me. So it has like it fits perfectly basically, and I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. Next I have this fuzzy cardigan. So this is not complete yet, so this is still kind of a work in progress, you could say. Oh god, it's inside out. Yeah. The sleeves are inside out. So I haven't finished crocheting this yet, but I've made the bulk of it. So I've sewn it together, and it's super soft and it's super cozy. And again, I'm probably saying this a lot. I found this soft yarn at this store that I went to, and I just kind of impulsively bought it, again with like no project in mind. I was like, I just need this yarn, I'm gonna make something with it. And I started looking into what I can make with like soft yarn, and I saw that a lot of people are making these cardigans. And so I really like this shade. It's like this off-white creamish color. I guess more cream than off-white, but I really like the color, and I thought like a cardigan or like a sweater would look really nice. And I just started crocheting. I didn't really follow any video for this. After like I made this white cardigan, I'd kind of gotten the hang of what I need to keep in mind while making cardigans. So crocheting this one wasn't that hard, especially since I'm just using like simple half double crochets to crochet this. There's no pattern as such. I did make the sleeves so that it's like, you know, getting thinner as we move down the arm. I'm still not completely done with this, so I haven't finished this sleeve yet. I haven't sewn it on. I haven't weaved in the ends, and I'm still debating if I want to add like maybe like a collar here or something. And I'm not completely sure if I'm satisfied with like the length, because it's like kind of like a cropped cardigan. It's not completely like fully covering my torso. So I'm not really sure if I'm done with this yet. I do have extra yarn, so I can really think about it. But I thought I'd include it because I'm like almost done with it. So yeah. Next, I have this crochet skirt that I made. This is like the only skirt that I've ever crocheted. I really wanted a skirt that was like flared. I didn't want one that was like tight fitting or like kind of body hugging. I wanted one that was gonna flare. So I made the waistband. That wasn't that hard. And then I just started crocheting like double crochets. I started with double crochets with like a 5mm hook because I was super optimistic. And one row in, and I realized this is going to take forever to crochet with a 5mm hook. And so then I moved on to a 6mm hook, and as you can see, like it's progressively, the hook size is progressively getting larger, and it's going from double crochets to triple crochets because I realized like I'm gonna be crocheting this skirt until like the end of time, because it's just never gonna get to the length that I want with a 5mm hook while doing double crochets. So I had to switch my hook size real fast, and I had to start making triple crochets because it wasn't happening with the double crochets, that's for sure. And I also made the mistake, so this is one mistake that I will point out, is that I made the increases in the second row. So for maybe people who aren't that familiar with crochet terms, increase is basically in one stitch or in one loop, you're making 2 crochets or 2 double crochets instead of just 1. So I'm increasing the size. And maybe I shouldn't have done that from the second row because that just meant that I had to crochet more number of loops in one row. And so I think in the end I was doing like almost 100 or 200 like double crochets, triple crochets in one row, and it took forever and it was very, very frustrating. But I do like how it turned out. I love this color and it looks cute when you wear it, so I'm cool with it. So, but yeah, just don't make the increases in the second row. That's what I will say, and don't start with the 5mm hook. Go straight for the 8mm, which is what I ultimately was using for this. Next is this crochet butterfly tapestry that I made, and I am super stoked about how this turned out because I have never done tapestry art or pixel grid art before, and I was looking into like these butterfly pixel grids and I came across this one, and at first I didn't realize how many colors were being involved. I just saw the pattern and I was like, this is absolutely gorgeous and I want to crochet something like that. And I noticed that I did have all these shades of pinks and reds and purples that were required in the pattern, and I just thought like, yeah, I'll just make this. And I started off crocheting, and the first maybe 10-20 rows weren't that difficult because, as you can see, like we're only using really white and blacks and like a little bit of pink. But then when this section started is when the real headache began, because by this point I think I was using 7 different yarn shades, and that meant that the back is going absolutely crazy. A lot of color switching, a lot of yarn tanglement, just a lot of it was just a headache. But the front looks gorgeous and I'm really happy with how this turned out. I don't really know what to do with it. I was just kind of crocheting it because I wanted to try making a tapestry. I didn't really have any purpose for this in mind, and it's still kind of just like lying in my room. It's not really serving any purpose at the moment, but I might make this into a wall hanging. If anyone wants to buy it, they can buy it from me too. But yeah, I am pretty proud of it. This was my first tapestry attempt and I think it was successful. So yeah. Also made this heart sweater, which was red and white. So I started with like this red colored heart, and then I kind of made rows around it and alternating between red and white. And I got the inspiration from an Instagram page called An Artsy Nari. She sells these heart sweaters in like different colors. You can check her out. And when I saw that, I thought like, this is so pretty and this is so cool. So I bought like red yarn, white yarn, and I started making it. And it was a lot harder than I thought it would be, just mostly because I didn't realize how big those hearts are gonna get towards like as it gets bigger. And so I was probably doing like 100 stitches in one row, and that's a lot of crocheting. But I really like how it turned out. It's quite big, and you can like actually wear clothes, like you can layer it. I don't have it with me. I gave it to my sister. She was in the US, so I thought like it'll be more useful for her in like the cold than me here in India where it's not that hot, where it's not that cold. But the last thing that I wanted to show is actually my favorite, and it is this crochet blanket, which is honestly my prized possession because this blanket took out probably like 2 months of my time, and I had the most fun crocheting this. So after I moved to Bangalore and I started working, I spent a lot of my time just crocheting this blanket. And I've always wanted to crochet a blanket, but it wasn't until I saw this pattern by Sisters in Stitch that I actually sat down and was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And Sisters in Stitch, they have made these beautiful squares, and these have like the most intricate details to them. And so their entire thing is that they make these squares and then they are converting them into making blankets. And so when I saw these squares, at first I thought I'd just make a bunch of squares and I'd join them together and I'd make a blanket. But then I saw this one blanket of theirs where they converted all the squares into octagons, and then they sewed those together and made a huge blanket out of them. And I was like, I'm making that. So I followed her patterns to make the blanket as well as to make the octagon. The only thing that I really changed was, so she used these smaller squares and she converted these into the octagons. So what I did was I made her bigger squares and I converted that into the octagon. So I did use her pattern for making the octagons as well as for making the granny squares, but I had to kind of use my own calculations to figure out how to convert the bigger squares into octagons. And all of the squares are different, so I have 6 big squares and I have 6 small squares. And honestly, I really love how it turned out. I haven't added like a border to it yet. That's like still something that I have to do. But besides that, the blanket's pretty much done, and I really love it. It's so warm and it's actually pretty heavy, and it's probably gonna be my most like it's my favorite crochet piece probably ever. Like I don't think I can make anything that will ever top this, in terms of effort or just in terms of anything. But yeah, this is my favorite and I love it. So that pretty much concludes my video of everything that I crocheted in 2024. 2024 for me was a lot of changes. I finished up college, I moved out of my house, and I started working. And crocheting for me was very therapeutic because it was like one of the few constants that I had throughout the year. And I really enjoyed challenging myself. I liked making new patterns. I liked reading these different patterns that I was seeing by all these talented people online. And I really like everything that I crocheted. I like how everything turned out. And I'm super excited about what I'm going to be crocheting in 2025. I'm already in the middle of crocheting this like patchwork cardigan, and I've made all the pieces. I just need to sew them together. And I have a few more things in mind, a few more projects that I'm kind of thinking about. I have the yarn I just need to start working on. But yeah, I'm really excited. And thank you for watching this video. And if you liked anything that I made, do tell me in the comments and subscribe. Thanks.